Top stories in the news. No January 1st federal income tax increase. The president agrees to a compromise hammered out in Congress. Board of Higher Education insists on city university staff furloughs to help meet city budget cuts. City says it's not legal. This is Lester Smith reporting. Next news as it happens. Next scheduled news at 11 o'clock over WOR Radio 710, the Talk of New York.
Hi, boys and girls, it's me. And we're back in the repair lair again. If it seems a little bit noisy in here, I have a fan on the corner of the table trying to keep me cool down because it's just been crazy hot here in New Jersey. And I know in other parts of the country you've had to, for example, out in Colorado, out west, you've had to deal with crazy, out-of-control wildfires. And, we have lots of rain here in the Northeast the other night here. And it's just been really terrible hot and humid weather here. So but we're in the basement. We're going to try to stay cool, and we're going to get to the chassis today. We're actually going to we're going to evaluate what's going on, and then we're going to actually power it up and just see where we stand and see, because we know that the radio will play on batteries, but we're going to see if it actually is going to play on wall power here, or alternating current, and we'll just see what happens from there. So let's get started. Okay, over here on the bench I have a Sam's faux fat copy of the radio right here, and here's what I want to show you now. Here's our electric power coming in here. Okay, this is part of a switch, so that if the plug goes into place, you take the electric plug it in, and it actually will change over from battery to electric. And then over here, this is the Selenium Rectifier right here. Let me see if I can, maybe I can zoom in a little. Okay, so what we're showing here is 115 volts before we reach this 130 ohm resistor. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up 2 meters, and 1 meter will show the supply voltage from the variac, and then the other one will read that'll be the AC voltage, and the other one will be reading the DC voltage before it reaches that 130 ohm resistor right here. So we'll see how close we are to this 115 volt. Okay, I basically have the radio all connected up. I even have the, let me go up here so you can see, but you can see that red wire going up there, laying on top of my soldering station. I actually have a wave magnet from a Part 600 radio that I had. And the meter on the right is the supply voltage from the variac to the radio, and then that's going to be an AC volt. So we're going to try to get it up to 120 volts if we can. And then the meter on the left is going to be our actual reading past the Selenium Rectifier, and we're looking to get 115 volts once we reach total supply voltage. So I have the radio already tuned into a station. I did that using my battery pack. So let me plug this in, lean over a little bit, and let's see what happens. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. Alright, we're up to 24 volts on the variac, 17 on the past the Selenium Rectifier. The radio is turned on, by the way. So hopefully, yeah, there's some volume to it. So if it actually starts to work, we'll hear about it. Curious to see if it's going to be nice and smooth, or it's going to have hum. I like what I see so far. Wow. I'm already hearing a station, and it sounds good. There's no hum. Let's bring it up some more. Now I am getting some interference from this light. Let me see what this is going to look like. Oh, it's not too bad. Alright, let me keep going. It's a little bit down. That's not bad. Wow. Let me turn this off. Yeah, you see now since I turned it off, it's going to drop off. Typically, if I can't get at least 105 volts out of that Selenium Rectifier, I won't use it. But this is reading about 107. So you know what? This is, I'm telling you folks, this is rare. But I'm going to leave this one in the radio. Because I have a feeling this thing has not seen a whole lot of hours. Alright, just to verify that everything is going to be working as it should. I also went past the Selenium Rectifier. That's this orange piece right here with the fins. And right here where I got the pointer is a 130 ohm dropping resistor. And coming off of that, it's actually going down to the ballast tube underneath of this resistor right here. So I wanted to get a voltage reading of that. And from my own experiences, that's actually a pretty good number. If you can't get this thing to run past the resistor at least 97, 98 volts, you definitely want to consider replacing that Selenium Rectifier. So I'm going to leave this one in here, but I'll explain what to do in case you do, if you're not as lucky as I am right now, and you actually have to replace it. Okay, so you've come to the determination that you're going to need to replace the Selenium Rectifier. Now, if I had to do it to this radio, here's what I would do. I would take, say, just a standard 1 amp diode. Now, this particular one here is a 1N4007. You can use a 1N4006 as well. Okay, and pay attention to, you see here, let me get my pointer. You see that line right here? This is the positive side of the diode. And when you're using one of these, make sure that the stripe is on the positive side. Okay, that's why all the diodes have a little stripe on there or some sort of an indicator. So just as I have it laying here, that's how we install there. Okay, and then you have this 130 ohm dropping resistor. Now, when you put this in here, this could be significantly more than 115 volts. So the idea is, or what I like to do, is after I get this installed, once you get past this 130 ohm resistor, at this point here, I'm looking to get anywhere between, let's say let's just say 105 volts, plus or minus about 2 volts. So anything between 103 and 107, or even it can even go down to 102.5 to 107.5, somewhere in there. That's what you're looking for. Now the reason why I'm going with that number is because it eventually becomes kind of crucial down here. Let me get down, get this lined up so you can see it a little bit better. Oop, okay. Over here are all the tubes as you go through the filament string. This is the filament string right here. And we get to this point over here, and there's a 270 ohm resistor, I believe, right here. Okay, at the end, this is the 3V4. That's V5 on the schematic here. Between that and ground, alright, you should, now, this is actually showing 8 volts. Zenith has a specification where you don't want to exceed 8.4 volts. Okay, and that's just kind of like a standard, because what happens is if you take out the 1L6, you're in trouble, because they're kind of pricey tubes. If you might get lucky and find a used one for about $15, $20. A couple years ago, they were going as high as $50 brand new. So that's crucial that this filament string should be less than 8.4 volts. I wouldn't go anything above that, and that'll also help the life of your tubes. So, getting back to this, typically a good benchmark is, alright, if I can't use the 130 ohm resistor, what should I use? For starters, I like to start at 150 ohms. Now I've got this this is a 5 watt resistor, 150 ohms, and hopefully that'll get you down somewhere in that, let's say, between 102.5 and 107.5 volt range. How low can you go with this? Once you get below 97, 98 volts past here, there will be some drop off or some performance issues probably on the 16 meter band, because the 106 really needs to oscillate to get that to work right. So otherwise it would play okay on all the other bands. So if that's not that important to you, you can even go as low as 95 and be all right then. But if you plan on listening to the 16 meter band, you should be up at least 100 volts. Okay, right now I'm connected up, doing a filament string measurement right now. And where did I put my pointer? Okay. So I'm basically connected right now. I'm actually connected to the end of the 700 ohm resistor right here. Or it actually is on one side of the filament string and to the ground. And that's my voltage right now. And the radio's playing. So I'm just going to leave well enough alone in the chassis for the time being. So just wanted to point that out to you. So there we go. We got a working radio off the original Selenium Rectifier, and trust me folks, this doesn't happen very often. I usually replace it, but this one seems to be okay, and I'm of the the philosophy of if it isn't broken, don't fix it. What I will probably end up doing is that I'll probably play this thing. What I like to do is play this for a while on the bench for at least say 3-4 hours and see if anything weird happens. And I'll probably do that just to make sure that it's going to be okay. And then we'll take it from there. So for next time anyway. So hopefully that helped you out. And stay tuned for part 3 as we go through this radio. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be good about this radio, and we're not going to be delving in too deep. But as we go through things, I'll point out little caveats that I know about on these 600 series radios that'll hopefully help you out, or even help you out the 500 series as well. So until next time, take care. Bye.
Rapid Shave Cologne Scent gives you more than a close shave. It gives you a fragrance she likes to get next to. Rapid Shave Cologne Scent Shave Cream. Another reason we can say we never met a face we didn't like.